Hello and welcome to our latest unboxing video. I'm Eliza. I'm here at the Hatfield Public Library with a really heavy box of adult books. It's not actually like that much bigger than some of the boxes, but for some reason it's particularly heavy. And I have a suspect. I think part of the reason is this incredibly heavy book by Alton Brown. It's called Good Eats for the Final Years. That's a really nice picture of him on the cover. I don't really know a lot about Good Eats, but I guess maybe it's his TV show. Anyways, here lots of Alton Brown recipes. My understanding is that his recipes tend to be somewhat science. Maybe it's kind of funny. Instead of like ingredients, he says software and then hardware for like the pans you need. Oh yeah, here's some sciencey stuff. So if you're looking for a very heavy and also fun looking cookbook, let's see. Here is a nonfiction book about the history of modern Ireland called We Don't Know Ourselves by Fintan O'Toole. So if you maybe have some Irish ancestry, or even if you don't, if you're interested, my understanding is that Ireland changed very fast in recent decades. And so I think that's where the title of like We Don't Know Ourselves comes from. Gosh, lots of nonfiction. Here we have Marie Yovanovitch, Lessons from the Edge, a memoir. Another gorgeous photo of her. And she was the ambassador to Ukraine who was targeted in a smear campaign by Donald Trump. So this is her perspective and the story of her life. Don Winslow, City on Fire. So this is our first novel. He wrote The Border and The Force. And I think these are sort of crime thrillers. Oh, it says Crime Saga. Adriana Trigiani, The Good Left Undone. Very beautiful cover. Sorry, the sun is glinting a little. And she's like so many popular books at the library, lots of historical fiction, lots of family dramas. This is a matriarch at the end of her life. Sounds like it goes back to her childhood and her family and her love affair with a dashing Scottish sea captain, all the way back to World War II. And then it sort of looks at some of the modern family members too. Whoa, wait. My gosh, this is the culprit, the other culprit for why it's so heavy. This is the new lyrics by Paul McCartney. I wasn't initially going to get this because I wasn't really sure. It's like not the kind of thing we normally get at the library. And it weighs like, I didn't know it would weigh like 5,000 pounds. But there's so many holds on it, and that's all I need. If there's a lot of holds on a book, I will get it. So this is 2 books in one. I don't even know how we're going to process this. This is crazy. It's all the good paper. That's why it's so heavy. That's what you get for being a Beatle, is they do so much of the good paper. And it's Paul McCartney's, I guess, notes and lots of photos. The Beatles are so interesting. We have some old Beatles CDs. I was listening to them with my daughter and showing her pictures of them at their different phases, and she was so fascinated. So I think that adults, kids, everyone is fascinated by the Beatles. So I do think that those will go out. And plus, everyone will get their weightlifting in because they're so heavy. True Biz, a novel by Sara Novic. This is a Reese's Book Club novel, blurbed by Celeste Wynn. And True Biz, it takes place at River Valley School of the Deaf. And the students just want to do student things like hooking up and have people stop telling them what to do. And then they meet a transfer student who has never met a deaf person before. This seems like good timing because Kodo is also about a lot of like deaf people culture. And so I think a lot of people will be interested in that. James Rollins, Kingdom of Bones, a thriller. And that's a creepy cover, like that weird bone thing. So it's another book in the Sigma Force series. Never Simple, a memoir by Liz Scheier. And oh, okay. So this is about a woman whose mother sounds like was a very strong personality, who was very charming, but also had mental illness. And whoa. Oh my gosh. There are usually so many twists and turns just in like the blurb. But it says that when she was 18, her mother tells her that she'd been married for 2 decades to a man that Liz had never met, and that the man she'd said was Liz's dead father was fictional. Wow. Ooh, those are some bombshells. Let's see, we have Stolen Focus by Johann Hari, Why You Can't Pay Attention and How to Think Deeply Again. I do sometimes I read a lot of ebooks on my phone, which I like because it's so light, but then sometimes I'm like, oh, just check the weather. Oh, I'll just check like this. I'll look on Facebook. But then once I get into a book, sometimes, then I'm okay. But I do understand that it can be hard. And so he's looking at why it's so hard to pay attention, what we can do. Um, how we think about our inability to focus as personal failure, but actually it has to do with larger forces. This is one of the things I like. I've read some stuff by Johann Hari, and he always looks at things very systematically. Well, instead of being like, oh, it's just your fault. James Patterson, J.D. Barker, Death of the Black Widow. Oh, first time in print. That makes me wonder, was it like only an E4? Anyways, for the James Patterson fans. Last two books. Very different. We have Viola Davis, Oprah's Book Club 2022. Gorgeous cover. And it's called Finding Me. I'm guessing it is her memoir. Oh, yeah, she says, this is my story from Rhode Island to New York City. I love it. And I love the cover. And then last of all, we have the new David Baldacci, which I know a ton of people are going to want. And this is an Archer novel, and it's called Dreamtown. So that is my whole heavy box. And I will be back soon with more. Bye.